Hello everyone, today we'll be cooking Moji casserole, one of the 4 eggplant dishes from the Llibre del Coch by Ruperto de Nola. Take eggplants, neither very big nor very small, but middling, and open them in the middle and cast them to cook with your salt. And when they are well cooked, drain them with a cloth which is rough, and then chop them a great deal, and cast them in a frying pan or kettle, and cast in good oil. And take toasted bread and grate it. Cast it there within, and cast in aged grated cheese. And when it is stirred for a good while over the fire, have ground dry coriander, caraway and pepper, and cloves and a little ginger, and stir it over the fire. And cast in some eggs, and stir it over the fire until it is hard. And then take a casserole, and cast in a bit of oil, and place it in the casserole. And beat some eggs with pepper and saffron and cloves, and some of the same toasted bread that is contained in the casserole, and some of the grated cheese. And make it thick and place it on top in the manner of a facing. And put your yolks on it, and coagulate it in the oven or with a cucchiaira, which is an iron pot lid with coals on top. And when it is coagulated, remove it from the fire and cast on top of it a dish of honey, which is very good, and your douce powder. This same casserole can be made with chard or carrots. For this dish, you will need 3 large eggplants, 5 eggs, 1 cup of fresh breadcrumbs or panko, 1 cup of manchego or other hard cheese, half a teaspoon each of coriander, caraway and pepper, 1/4 teaspoon each of ginger and cloves, 1/4 cup of oil, and 3 threads of saffron. Optional extras include honey and powdered douce to serve. Begin by cutting your eggplants in half. Try and do this carefully so that you don't shake your camera. Get your Salt Bae on and generously season to remove the bitterness, and then add water and boil until the eggplants are tender. Once you've drained and chopped your eggplants, you can add them to a pot. I've done this off camera to avoid getting wet eggplant juice all over my benchtop. And I've also changed my pot because the portable stove doesn't like the one that I used to start with, but I highly recommend you do this all in one pot to avoid washing up. Add your oil and stir on a medium heat. And then add 3/4 of your breadcrumbs. Or add all of them and pretend that you were meant to do that all along. Add 3/4 of your cheese and stir until the cheese just starts to soften. Stir in your spices until everything is coated, then turn off the heat. Add 3 of the eggs and stir until everything is glossy and eggy. Keep stirring because you really don't want to find chunks of scrambled eggs in there later. carefully scoop your eggplant mix into a lightly oiled casserole dish. You want to gently smoosh the mixture towards the corners and smooth out the top so that you have a nice base for your eggy topping. Move the dish to the side and then have a think about what vessel the leftovers will fit in. I ended up going with this small terracotta dish for the aesthetic. The large casserole dish I'll be taking to a potluck dinner tonight. Crack the remaining 2 eggs into a bowl and add the saffron, pepper and cloves. Beat until just combined, then add breadcrumbs and cheese. Make sure you save a little bit of the breadcrumbs and cheese to make the top extra crispy. Gently spoon your egg mixture on top of your eggplants. Then, give up and just pour it on top. Spread the egg mixture evenly and then sprinkle on the reserved breadcrumbs and cheese. Bake for 20 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 freedom units. Once your moji casserole is out of the oven, you can garnish with honey and powder juice like De Nola recommends. And there she is. The spices add a wonderful fragrance and the crust on top is delightfully cheesy. The extra breadcrumbs made this a bit more dense than expected, but still very tasty. 2 thumbs up, would recommend.